Buenos dias. Good morning, everybody. I'm State Senator Shelley B, representing the 37th Senate District, and I'm so pleased to be here today at the Community Resource Center here in the village and the village of Mamaroneck. And it's really a great honor to be here with so many people. I do want to acknowledge my colleagues in government who are here, because like this effort today, where we're announcing that the State Senate is giving $20,000 to the Community Resource Center to help them begin the process of hiring a full-time lawyer who's going to be here to provide legal assistance and legal guidance to the clients and the community that so needs it. So I'm so pleased to be here to announce this, but I want to acknowledge my friends and colleagues, Assemblyman Steve Otis, who represents Mamaroneck with me, where are you, Steve? I know I have Nancy Seligson, the supervisor of the town of Mamaroneck. Thank you for being here, Nancy. Jane Elkan, the deputy town supervisor for the town of Mamaroneck, who I work closely with. Thank you. Malcolm Coleman, trustee of the village of Larchmont. Thank you for being here. Any other elected? No. It is really quite an honor to be here today and to talk specifically about what it means to have a legal representation for our neighbors, particularly in the Latino community here in Mamaroneck and throughout the Sound Shore. So today, with the help of the Senate Majority Leader, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, the New York State Senate is able to give $20,000 for targeted immigration assistance programs to bring lawyers into communities. In my prior life, I was a lawyer, I am a lawyer. I know that the ability to ask questions and get advice from a lawyer, particularly in this environment, when we are facing tremendous immigration challenges, is something that has great meaning for people's individual lives. And that's what we're changing here today with this modest grant, coupled with a donation from supporters of the Community Resource Center, and I want to thank them. The Community Resource Center is going to be able to hire a full-time attorney to bolster the services they provide now without an attorney, but they're going to have an attorney here full-time to help people go to hearings, go to interviews, provide advice, and provide legal guidance in a very tough environment in the immigration world. So this new staff attorney will assist clients in cases involving naturalizations, family petitions, DACA renewals, green card renewals, U visas, and special immigrant juvenile status cases. And they will help the staff here respond to the needs of Westchester's immigrant community. And I would point out that approximately at least 1/4 of Westchester is immigrant community, particularly our Latino brothers and sisters, and this is one community. And today we say, and again, this is our community, these are our neighbors. We are all together going to make sure that this happens well and that people are served. So it's my honor to be here today, and I want to introduce Jurandy Martinez, who needs no introduction, the Executive Director of the Community Resource Center.
Thank you all for being here today. Thank you to our wonderful Senator Shelley B, to our elected officials for being here. I would also like to recognize our board members in the room. Our board chairs, Kelly Grayer, Carol Pucci. Representing our treasurer is Jenny Greer for Guillermo Bilbao's. Thank you so much for being here. We also have Nina Cuddy, David Keys, and John Ferris in the room with us. And these are people who have been on our board of directors, believing in our mission, so thank you so much. I would also like to acknowledge our staff who are here working diligently every single day and giving it everything that we have. Thank you to our staff and our consultants, are part of our team, who are here everywhere. They're Rocio, Luis, Marco, Jenny, Citlali, Sylvia, and Janet. Anybody Yes, that is our staff, and Donega. This work would not be possible without them. Senator Mayor, I'd like to thank you so much for your leadership and wisdom in understanding the plight of immigrants. The truth is, we know that anybody fares better with legal representation, and that's especially true for immigrants at this time. So what this funding will do is secure competent and culturally competent legal services for our community in a really incredibly difficult and challenging time. So I want to acknowledge your leadership for us to do this internally with our staff currently right now, our case managers, but also externally. Courthouse representation is also critical, especially when we know that there have been ICE representatives at courthouses, and what we're seeing is the separation of families right now. I would also like to say that because of you, I'd also like to acknowledge our additional donors. Because of you and your leadership, we have been able to secure additional funding for this program. And so I'm going to keep them anonymous because they'd like to be anonymous, but I'd like to say that this program has been now strengthened an additional $55,000. So and I'm going to bring up our Deputy Executive Director who oversees the entire program and understands that there's a significant backlog for services right now, that our legal partners who are dedicated to providing these services are closing appointments right now because they cannot possibly take additional appointments or additional clients in. What this grant will help us do, what this funding will help us do, is to serve more people than we've ever been able to serve. And we acknowledge your support. We will do everything we can to protect the community the way we have been for 20 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. And thank you, Senator Shelley B. and Steve. This is such a man. When I heard about this funding, I was jumping on one foot, honestly, because of the clients that we represent. And when I was asked to say something today, I was overwhelmed with so many things that I wanted to put on paper, but I didn't want you to, be talking for hours here. Otherwise, would be like, I need to get out of here. So my name is Janet Fry, and I am the Deputy Director of the Community Resource Center. And I like to, with deep gratitude, thank Senator Shelley Mayor for this funding, because I know what this means for our clients and how this funding can improve the life of immigrants in the county. As a DOJ accredited representative, I represent clients of the CRC in immigration cases. I personally know how great the need is of our clients to get legal representation, and I really know how this impact will make in their lives. This past year, we have seen a number of community members coming to the CRC seeking legal services, and so this need range from assistance to file for naturalization and submitting family petitions to more complicated cases such DACA and SITch petitions, and also to highly specialized cases for non-immigrant visas, also known as U visas, and T visa for human traffic victims. For vulnerable individuals such immigrant children and victims of crime, including domestic violence survivors, legal representation is vital in obtaining immigration status and living without fear of deportation. Similarly, legal representation is critical for young adults who were brought to this country as children, and for them to continue to obtain DACA and continue their education, secure employment, and continue their lives in the U.S. And last but not least, legal representation is crucial for members of our community who have been long-term legal permanent residents and are aspiring to become U.S. citizens. No matter how specific the circumstance is, legal representation is paramount for the immigrant members of our community to achieve more stable, more secure, better life in the U.S. The vast majority of our clients seeking legal services are low income, which makes it very hard for them to secure legal representation, meaning to hire attorneys. Unfortunately, pro bono legal representation is currently scarce due to the sudden change in immigration policies. And at the CRC, we recognize the seriousness of this problem, and we're doing everything in our power to increase legal representation to meet our clients' needs. Of course, funding is crucial to do this work. So again, I'd like to thank you, Senator Mayor, for recognizing the need, acknowledging our efforts, and also supporting our mission to continue providing legal services to our community members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanna. We're going to hear some stories of the real difference that it makes to have an attorney. And I just want to say that for me, and I know for my colleagues in government, the personal experience that is changed by being secure in this country from an immigration status in this day and age is so critical, and we are very committed to it. County Legislator Catherine Parker, thank you for joining us. So nice to have you. So next, Assemblymember Steve Otis, who's my partner in so many things here in this community. And Steve, you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Shelley. Well, you all know this, that Community Resource Center is a transformational organization in the Merrimack and Larchmont and serving people even beyond those communities. We are so lucky that you were here, and all of you for what happens. But this is a great grant, and Shelley deserves great credit in the Senate, Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, for identifying a particular need, which is to get money for legal services. Problems that occur that relate to individuals' legal needs don't happen on a schedule. Oh yes, something bad is going to happen 2 Tuesdays from now. Let's plan to get a lawyer there for that. They happen in the middle of the night. They happen in end of an afternoon. Something happens, and you need legal help. And so what this does, instead of Community Resource Center having to make some phone calls and figure out who we can get in, there's going to be somebody accessible full-time to deal with what are generally almost always emergency situations. This is a great assist and further solidifies how important Community Resource Center is for the area and for the clients that get served here, not just with these services, legal services vitally important, but all the educational, health, other kinds of family services that occur here. This is a mecca. I like to say, Durandi knows this, I say, we're here on the campus of the Community Resource Center. It's sort of a campus, so let's go with it. Shelley, great job with this. This is really fantastic, and it's going to make a great difference in people's lives, and that is huge. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you. So, Cesar, you want to come up here or you want to speak there? So, why don't you come up here? Cesar Olivas. Oh, Olivas.
Hello, good morning, everybody. So my name is Cesar Olivas Navarro, and I am originally from Peru. I came to the United States in 1992, so I can be reunited with my mother and my siblings. And right away when I came to this country, my mother enrolled me to school, so I attended junior high school. And I was lucky that my mother was able to petition me so I can become a legal resident. And after I got my immigration status, I proceeded like getting different jobs, attending different colleges in the areas, and a couple of my personal dreams were to become a professional makeup artist and also a U.S. legal citizen. So I was lucky enough that I met I learned about the community resource centers through a close friend of mine. And once I learned about the different services that they provide here, I was very excited and very grateful because they just do a great job in, they provide the guidance from beginning to the end. And I'm just like very grateful to have met Janet and her whole team because they really walk you through from beginning to the end. And they provide free legal services for the people in the community, and I think it's a great help that we can benefit from because the process sometimes cannot be too easy for some people. So I think it's such a great program they have here, and I'm very grateful for them because without their help I would have not been able to become a citizen, and I'm very thankful for that.
Thank you so much. Next, I think Edgar Garza.
Buenos días a todos. Primeramente quiero dar las gracias a la senadora por estar con su equipo esta mañana.
First and foremost, I want to thank Senator Shelley B for being here with her team.
Yo soy de El Salvador, mi nombre es Edgar Garza y tengo más de 26 años viviendo en Mamaroneck.
I am from El Salvador. My name is Edgar Garza, and I have been living in Mamaroneck for 26 years.
Veo muchas caras conocidas.
I see so many familiar faces.
Antes de hacer mi residencia en el 2005,
Before applying for my green card, my legal residency in 2005,
como todos los que hemos vivido esa etapa, viví con miedo.
like everybody who is undocumented, I live in fear.
Viví con la sombra de que inmigración en algún momento me podía deportar.
I live in the shadows and with the fear that immigration could deport me.
Pensaba mucho en mi familia, que si me llegaban a deportar, no iba a tener sus ingresos ya en mi tierra.
I was thinking about my family, that if I would get deported, my family would lose financial support.
Cuando en el 2005 hice mi residencia, no tiene sonido, ¿no?
Sí, sí.
Siento que no.
Sí.
Bueno, yo hablo fuerte.
So when I applied for my residency in 2005,
Sentí el alivio de vivir en las calles.
so I felt the relief to walk on the streets,
Libre de toda preocupación por inmigración.
free of any stress or worries, concerns.
Después de que pude lograr mi residencia,
After I was able to obtain my green card,
sentí el gran cambio para vivir en Mamaroneck y poder viajar para todos lados.
I felt the change to live in Mamaroneck and being able to travel outside the state.
Después de eso, de acuerdo a las nuevas políticas que estamos viviendo,
So after a while, and with these new politics,
me vi en la necesidad de buscar información para adquirir mi ciudadanía.
I felt the need to seek information to apply for my U.S. citizenship.
Consulté con algunos abogados y todos andaban arriba de $1,500 por mi servicio.
I consulted with many immigration attorneys, and all of them charge more than $1,500.
Y debido a mi incapacidad que tuve en el trabajo anterior, pues yo no tengo los ingresos necesarios para cubrir esos gastos.
And due to my disability, because I got injured on my back at work, I couldn't afford an immigration attorney.
Alguien me hablaba sobre el centro. Yo conozco el centro hispano desde hace 20 años,
I know this center for many years,
pero nunca imaginé todos los servicios que estaban prestando a la comunidad.
but I never thought how many services this center provided to the community.
Alguien me mandaba a hacer una consulta acerca de migración.
Somebody referred me here to do a consultation on my immigration case.
Cuando vi la información dije, bueno, se ve que está la ayuda accesible.
After I got informed, I saw that I could do my application here.
Una de las trabajadoras de casos me dio toda la información y pude comenzar a hacer todo mi proceso.
A case manager here gave me information and I was able to start my application for citizenship.
Lo mejor que tuve, aparte de la asistencia, fue
The best thing I got here, besides the assistance,
es de que ellos llenaron una aplicación para mandar a migración
so that they prepare my application to be sent to immigration.
para no pagar los servicios que se pagan en migración para poder obtener la ciudadanía.
And they also applied for a fee waiver, so I didn't have to pay for my application fee.
Esa fue una gran noticia para mí.
That was a good news for me.
Cuando yo ya logré la entrevista, nada más pensé en mi familia.
So after I passed my interview, the first thing I saw was my family.
Y quisiera darle las gracias a la senadora Shelley B.
And I'd like to thank you, Senator Shelley B,
por la ayuda que están dando al centro hispano.
for all the help that you're giving to the Community Resource Center.
En el pasado año lo hice yo.
In the past, I did that.
En el futuro vienen más estudiantes con necesidades similares a las mías.
So in the past, I passed my citizenship, and I know in the future there are more people applying for citizenship.
Y el dinero que viene en camino va a ayudar a esas personas necesitadas.
And the funding that's coming is going to help more people to apply for citizenship.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Come back. Maria Marmolejo. Isn't it terrific to hear that real people's lives are changed by what we can do? This is the CRC, thank you so much.
Buenos días, soy María Marmolejo. Vine a los Estados Unidos en el 2002 por una petición de mi hija.
Good morning, Maria Marmolejo. I came to the United States in 2002 through a family petition for my daughter.
Vine al centro por primera vez por clases de joyería.
I came to the center for the first time for a class of jewelry.
A través me informaron que el centro estaba preparando clases para la ciudadanía y empecé a venir a las clases.
They informed me that the Community Research Center was giving classes and preparing to obtain your citizenship. So I started coming to the classes.
Consulté mi caso con la señora Janet Rolón porque no podía pagar un abogado.
I consulted my case with Janet Rolón because I could not afford a lawyer.
Ella me orientó y preparó mi solicitud de la ciudadanía.
She guided me and prepared my application for the citizenship application.
Había un problema en mi caso que no podía retener información debido a una operación del cerebro.
In my case, I had a special situation that I could not retain information for my application.
La señora Rolón me acompañó al doctor para poder solicitar una carta médica y poder presentar a inmigración.
Janet Rolón accompanied me to the doctor so I could present a special application, medical fee waiver for my immigration case.
Las trabajadoras del centro me dieron mucho ánimo y confianza el día de mi entrevista para la ciudadanía.
The workers from the center gave me a lot of support and confidence the day of my application, the day of my interview for my citizenship.
Durante mi entrevista de la ciudadanía me sentí muy calmada por el buen trato del oficial de inmigración.
During my immigration interview, I felt very calm due to the immigration officer.
Cuando aprobaron mi ciudadanía, me sentí feliz y agradecida a Dios.
Once they approved my application, I felt very thankful to God and to the center and also Janet Rolón.
Al centro y a la señora Janet Rolón. Okay. También agradezco a la senadora Mayer por otorgar estos fondos para que los servicios de ciudadanía continúen.
I also want to thank Senator Mayor Shelley for these funds to continue the services for immigration.
Muchas gracias por todo y que Dios los bendiga.
So, wonderful stories, meaningful change, and we're going to be able to do so much more here. Thank you to the CRC, thank you. And I want to thank my leader again, Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who provided us with the opportunity to pick recipients who would provide legal services in this very tough immigration climate. And those of us in the Senate, in our conference, and I know my colleagues in the Assembly and elsewhere in government understand this is a very, very tough moment for our immigrant community, and we are dedicated and committed to being partners and making sure that there is less fear and more opportunity for the American dream. We are a country of immigrants. We're proud of that, and the CRC is helping make that happen. So thank you so much. So with that, I have a check, right? Where's my check? Here it is. It's not a real check. But come all CRC. Why don't you come up here, you?